Our first AMV comes from SeanTheBomb. He's a good friend from Discord who made this AMV for a 3-hour challenge that we had going on at the time. Now let's go over the first few seconds of Sean's AMV. The music choice that he has is nostalgic and cozy. That one already has a good potential in pulling in the viewer because these are feelings that we have all felt. In terms of visual choices, he has chosen the anime Promised Neverland, and in the first few seconds, the vibe that this imagery gives is that of a classic look with the overlay, and also easy on the eyes with the clips he used from the anime. As I always say, the very first few seconds of an AMV are the most important because you have to set up what the whole AMV is going to be about, and you have to pull in the viewer through those first moments of your AMV. So him having this cozy feeling, this nostalgic feeling, it lets us know that the whole AMV is going to be about that or around that. That it'll give us that type of emotion and evoke in us some type of nostalgic thought process to view this AMV through. So going from that, the first few seconds, does that ring true for the whole AMV? Well, it does. Throughout the AMV, you see that it involves a romantic relationship between two characters, and that's the focus of this AMV. So that cozy feeling that we felt at the beginning seconds of this AMV transform themselves into this more intimate type of AMV and emotions that we see throughout. And I think that's a good transformation. It lets us know that those first few seconds aren't there to deceive us, to pull us in and then change it completely. Because it's very easy to do that. It's very easy to have a beginning that is some type of theme or topic and then change it up too much throughout. So in terms of consistency, this AMV passes. In terms of having a goal, it also has it, and that's an intimate, cozy, romance type of AMV, and that's what it is. Now, unlike other episodes of AMV review, where I go throughout the AMV from beginning to end, I'm actually gonna start doing something different. And so I'm gonna be separating it into different categories. The categories that we have are flow, story, presentation, and scene selection. And I'm gonna be rating it depending on what I think of these different categories and how well it did in them. And as you can see on screen, it has subcategories in order to help guide us throughout this process. So let's get right into flow. Now for flow, we have beat sync and moments of rest. There are different types of beat syncs, and I'll put them on screen. I won't go into this right now because I don't think it's the right place to, since this is about being simple in your AMVs. The type of beat syncing that this AMV has is mostly lyric sync. It matches visuals with what is being said on the music, and also changes the clips on beat with the lyrics. So now that we know what type of beat sync it is, how well does it utilize that type of beat sync? Well, I went through the AMV quite a couple of times, and I won't talk about the scene selection because that's another category, but I will say that in terms of syncing the clips, the changing and the transitioning of each clip with the lyrics, it wasn't perfect and it wasn't anything special. At times, it kind of randomly changed. I think it was to match more with what the lyrics mean instead of how the lyrics are being said. So in terms of flow, it kind of goes all over the place at times. So before we jump into story, I want to go into moments of rest. These can be transitional periods, moments where there is normally no lyrics or high intensity music, and also tension release. These are moments where there is a difference in pattern. It gives you a sense of relief and prevents tediousness. There are actually 3 moments of rest in this AMV. The first one is straight at the beginning, the second one is near the end, and the third one is the ending itself. If I were to rank them from best to worst, I would put the hugging clip at the top because that was a very well executed difference in pattern. And so the tension, you really felt it. The slow-mo added to that release. Future Ty here. While editing, I noticed something about the moments of rest section. That means that the hug clip shouldn't be involved in this section because it isn't actually a change from the pattern that has been set before. Instead of letting the slow-mo keep going, it starts cutting up according to the beats of the song. So ignore anything regarding the hug in this moments of rest section. It's still a very good moment, but it doesn't belong here. I just wanted to clarify that moment there. Carry on. Then after that, I will put the ending. It also has that type of slow-mo, it helps because that's what endings typically do. They have a more slow approach to things. But it still has
a little something for everyone.
A little bit of cutting and such, or fades in this case. And then the last one would be the beginning, and I have to say, it's good, it's a good beginning, but in terms of moments of rest, it has too many fades and too many changing of scenes for it to be out of pattern type of thing. I do like the overlay. It does help differentiate that moment from the rest of the moments. But yeah, onwards to story. Now this is where I think simple AMVs, and this one especially, they can be very, very glorious. They can showcase their impact and their power. This AMV is about feeling cozy, friendship, and a bit beyond that, romance. And I have to say that it's really well executed. I guess I have to add scene selection to this, so I'll rate that too with this. The scene selection is really, really good. You are limited by the anime you choose. So in The Promised Neverland, you won't get moments of them dancing, so to speak. So you have to do different things with it. You can either mask, or you could play around and not take the lyrics too seriously with your visuals, and do something that's kinda similar so that the viewer isn't, confused, or it takes them out of the experience. And so I mentioned dancing because there's a part in this song that mentions that. And so what they used is them in the fields and being together, that type of thing. And I think it worked well for what it is. So he was limited by the anime, and I think he used pretty good scenes for what it was. Now in other scenes where he does have moments and clips of the anime that he can use for it, that's where you see this AMV shine. That's when you feel that impact. You feel the song and the visuals, it all works so well together, and so you can feel the emotion of the AMV. So especially for 3 hours of work, this is really, really good. The story, it delivers, it's consistent, it makes do with what it has to offer, and it pulls the viewer in. So in terms of story, personally for me, the moment I saw this AMV, it almost made me tear up. I'm not a crying man, but this AMV really impacted me, and it's definitely saved in one of my playlists for AMVs that I would just go back whenever I want inspiration or anything like that. This AMV is definitely there. It's very, very good. Now let's talk presentation. In presentation, we have sound, effects, color correction. This AMV, as far as I know, doesn't have any color correction. The only effect it has is at the beginning with the overlay, which it does well in setting the mood and stuff. And in terms of sound, it doesn't have anything. No sound manipulation, nothing of that sort. In terms of the anime scenes that he used, those scenes create like I said before, a cozy feeling. So in terms of presentation, that's the only thing it has going for it. Just what the anime portrays, basically. And I think he used it well. It's nothing to be amazed at, like, oh, it's glorious. Nothing like that, but it's done well enough for what it is. It's simple. There's no concrete right or wrong way of making an AMV. There are basics that form the foundation. Now after that, it's up to you to build upon it. Houses and buildings don't have a wrong or right way of making them. They have a foundation, and from there they are built. We have skyscrapers, cozy houses, but they're all buildings. They each have a purpose, and that's to house individuals, keeping them safe inside. So then you might ask, what is the purpose of an AMV? You want to unite the visuals and music by transforming the original media in order to evoke a feeling from the viewer. I would go into scene selection, but that was in with story. All I have to say that it was very good scene selection for the most part, and with the limits that the anime gave him, he did very well, especially with it being 3 hours of work. Now for last thoughts, I have to say that this is very concerning, having two underage kids in a romantic relationship and doing AMVs about it, and I had to call the police for this. So Sean, you're probably on the list by the time that this video comes out. Now I was gonna cover 2 AMVs in one episode, but I don't want to make it too long of a video. So what that means is it's a 2-parter then. Anyway, I appreciate every single one of you for watching. It really does mean a lot. Until next time, have a peaceful time in the land we call our home.